Big dick.
Yeah, on elephant. Little dick on elephant. Big dick on a caterpillar.
I've had to keep my glasses on for a bit today. I just had to walk shop to get some tablets because I've got a bit of a migraine.
Oh, you're king, dude. You gotta walk to the shop. You've got to walk. All right, Grandma. Got to walk to the shops because you're migraine. I thought you're supposed to be in the dark.
Yeah, I couldn't be in a more lit up room. I feel like I'm in a. It's great for a migraine when your shop's like a dentist's office. Dentist practice. What's not an office? Is it what you call it? Dude, I like how you allowed me to come on the recording at the very end of your meal, and you were scraping up the last little bit of proving that you eat veg. Do you know what I mean? Like you'd save the healthy bit of the meal. So that you thought, right, I'm going to eat this last bit when Paul's on the camera, so he can see I do take veg into my diet. I know what you were playing that.
No, there was no veg on it at all. I made the veg at the end. I made like this much broccoli.
Yeah, you had it separately on a separate plate. You thought, right, I'll eat the food that I like, and then I'll add this shitty broccoli at the end and just give support. And it's living a lie, isn't it? It's like when you see an Instagram picture of people looking happy and muscly and living the best life, but really they cry at home.
I've just got broccoli and then a zinger burger meal box. Just by but you can just about see the top of it without trying to hide it.
Yeah, it's clearly like a box that 20 chicken nuggets comes in from McDonald's, but it's just harboring like a bit of green leafy salad.
Yeah,
clearly eating all the nuggets.
How have you been?
Nice assortment of drinks here. I've gone for a bottle of water, a cup of tea, and a Rubicon.
What's a Rubicon?
Mango Rubicon. It's I got it from. I had jerk chicken for my tea. I went to a Caribbean place, and that's what they sell. It's like their drink.
Oh yeah, I know the one, like Turtle Bay.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Dude, I'm having Baileys, mate. I'm having a little Christmas Baileys.
Have you tried Baileys with coffee? And if you haven't, next time, well, I'm going to say tomorrow when you're not doing anything, put a shot of Baileys in your coffee. It's nice. It's quite rich, quite creamy, but it's good.
You've been tattooing today, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had I've had a mad couple of days, so because of that lockdown, and I've had to come basically back into I've been working flat out. I've got like a tax bill to pay and stuff for Christmas, before Christmas, and I've just been booking as many tattoos as possible. And I had a mad fucking day the other day, right? I went to I agreed to pick my client up. I don't know why, but he just said what time are you getting to the shop, and I just agreed to grab him in the morning. But I'd had a dead stressful morning, and he got in the car and he could clearly see I was stressed out, and he said
can we go pick my kids up from swimming?
Yeah, he said can we pick up a McDonald's on the way? And I went, yeah, of course. And then I pulled up in a petrol station and fully parked the car at the side, like where you fill the fuel up. And he just said, "What are you doing here?" And I just looked across at him and I went, "I actually don't know." I was that distracted. I just seen a petrol station pulled in. So then I took him to McDonald's, right? He bought his McDonald's. And as we was getting close to the shop, he went, "Oh, pull up here at this cash machine. I'll get you your money out." And then there was a bin at the side. The cash machine was like outside a co-op, and I thought, "Oh, I'll bin all the crap," because my car had loads of like McDonald's wrappers and shit in the car. And I binned all the crap out from the passenger footwell, including his fully uneaten McDonald's. That he just paid for. And he got back in the car, this customer, and he went, have you moved my McDonald's? I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
So I
just
threw away his meal. Yeah, so I've had a mad couple of days. My cellar's flooded with water. I've been having like a bit of a musky smell in the shop, and like, have you ever smelled like, you know, when something smells a little bit musky and damp, and all you can think of to do is wander around sniffing up, trying to find the fucking source of the smell, and instead you just clean everything. You just think, right, I'll blitz the shop and I just try and figure out what the fuck this smell is. Anyway, I'm halfway through a tattoo the other day, and so some guy walks in, some builder, and goes, can you check your cellar and see if it's flooded with water? All your neighbours' properties are flooded with water. And I was like, no, mine's not. But I can't get down there at the minute because the hatch is covered with, because I've just done my laminate flooring. And I just thought, like, later on, hang on, I've been smelling that smell, and he said about a flooded cellar. Maybe I should check. I lifted it up, and what just at the bottom of the stairs was like a foot of water.
oh fuck.
As we speak right now, dude, I'm just going to turn the camera. I've got, see the hatch there?
Yeah.
Down that hatch is a pump sitting in the water, which has then got a hose coming up into the shop and going into that little sink in the corner. Well, this is hard. Gonna do it. That's well hard to find. It's going in that sink in the corner, and I swear to God, that pump has been pumping water for the last 7 hours, and it's still not gone, the water. It's like gone halfway down.
That'll be good for the audio. That'll be good for the audio for the podcast.
What, the little backing noise?
Yeah, just got loads going on. Just got a pump going on. Got like, yeah, I've got a goat. Just hear goat in the background, and got loads of fucking objects and noisy things.
I've got like, you know, those chimes that dangle and they blow in the wind and make noise. Hey, dude,
I don't know what happened there, but my end, you just went, and just paused.
Yeah, no, I was saying, imagine if we had, you know, those chimes that sit outside, and when it's windy.
Yeah, wind chimes.
I've got some chimes dangling, but because there's no wind in the room, I've like got a fan blowing at them just to create the noise, really pointlessly.
Like because your cellar's flooded, you've like, I've started like renting out like just parts of the room. So like in one corner you've just got a drum lesson going on, but like you've asked him to keep it down, so it's just like just really quiet drum playing.
I've had to sublet sections of the shop to maximize on revenue. I've got like instead of the barbers next door, I've just turned it into I've turned it into a temporary sweet shop.
Yeah.
It's where the barbers' chairs are, just stacked up a load of chocolate bars and stuff with like the price next to them.
Cans of vegetable soup and biscuits and fruit shortcake biscuits.
Dude, so I had this weird idea, right? Imagine this. This is gonna sound weird, right? But I've seen that cellar flooded, right? So that's my cellar. You go down a set of stairs, like a hatch, and then there's essentially a cased cube, right? And I was saying that's held water in it as well. So I was saying, imagine if you just cemented all the walls and then tiled it in beautiful tiles, and then people are like looking at the hatch, like you see it over there, like, all right, so what's down there in the cellar? And you're like, it's the hot tub. And I've just turned the entire cellar into this cool. Do you think that could happen or not?
Like literally have Waterworld under your.
Yeah.
You've extended it as well, like where you've knocked through walls and shit, like into like, because like you found out like next door the hairdressers and the restaurant over don't use their cellar, so you're like, you don't mind if I keep some bits and bobs in it, do you? No, that's fine, Paul, that's fine. You just knock through it.
That's no longer the staircase. That's like the top of the slide where you hold on and then you look across at the guy and he gives you the nod, and then you nod and swing your body. So you queue up for a slide.
Yeah.
Is that person, when you go to any swimming baths or any fucking like water world or anything like that, there's always one young student looking guy or girl stood at the top of the stairs, and their only job
They're
is,
always chewing gum.
yeah, their only job is for when you're about to slide, you look across at them and wait for him to nod at you. They just do that. That's their entire shift. Yeah, yeah, they're filling out the job application. So yeah, the salary's £9 an hour, and then in the interview they just ask them to nod. Like, yeah, I think you'd be
We've got,
suitable for this job.
yeah, they're like, we've just got one requirement from you, one test, if you're okay with running that through. And they look at him and just goes, and they go, you know what? I think you've got the job. Or they just go, we've got him. Look, Deborah, we've got him. I've got real.
You passed the test. Like
Yeah.
That's the test. If they don't nod, they don't get the job. No nod, no job. There's a strict policy, and no.
And it's just like this. It's just like this, like sweet, like, I don't know, however old girl, like just left school, and she's really. They're like, is that okay? And then she's like really sweet about it. She's like, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, I look forward to it. And they're like, get the fuck out my office. Get out.
just to go back, right? Am I the only person in this country, do you think, that has had some sort of flood in a cellar and envisioned it just becoming a swimming pool, do you think?
No.
Do you reckon anyone has done that?
I reckon 4 out of 10 men.
No, because you've got to think, right? Just one sec, dude. I'm just going to put my phone. The thing with my phone, it's all linked to my iPad and stuff. So if when it rings, it comes through on the pad. Yeah. So what I'm saying, right? When people want a swimming pool, the big cost of a swimming pool, if anyone had one built out like in the garden, you have to remove a massive section of earth, don't you? And then you have to seal it all in. Do you know what I mean? And then from that, obviously, all like the pumps and the equipment and stuff. But you've essentially already got it done for you. If you've got a cellar that's all bricked up and stuff, all you'd have to do is seal it, wouldn't you?
The first question I'd ask is it chlorinated? I'd look and I'd be like, oh my god, it's flooded. And then I'd be like, can I? I'd be like, first question is like, can I run some pumps through this flood and get myself a jacuzzi?
Hey, dude, maybe you should stop the teaser.
All right, mate. Done. Love you. Bye.
Cheeky teaser. Yeah, I mean, because how many other uses have you got for a cellar? People convert them, don't they? But imagine like I have actually got it's actually like rigged up as like this sick, proper smart jacuzzi that's all tiled beautifully, all lights and like screens up in the corner, and people are just like, no one would guess it. You're just looking down at a really like ominous looking hatch that looks like they'd have some dungeon tools down there, and it's just like this lavish jacuzzi. And I'm like, yeah, it's just the hot tub. I get in it after work. Do you know what I mean? It's part of the day. It's just how I like to run my day. Do you know what I mean? Like it's normal.
It's a ritual, man. And you could have like blow up islands and stuff to like run across, and you could blow up because you'd be the like guy that breaks the rules, and you'd have like you'd allow running and you'd allow heavy petting.
No bombing from outside the hatch, doing a run across the room and just jumping in. I've been a bit greedy at the start of this pod, going on about myself and my issues. How's your week been?
Yeah, good. A friend of mine said to me, we were talking about hindsight together, and he said that, and it's funny because he always wears big glasses, and he was like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, my party trick was to stare into a torch without blinking. My party trick was to stare into a torch without blinking.
Yeah.
And I thought it was quite funny that that was his party trick and that was his go-to. And he was telling me with like big ass glasses on. I enjoyed it. Maybe
Has that
stick
led
with,
him to now be wearing the glasses?
yeah, yeah. Just children's party tricks.
He's just ruined the rest of his potential in life by just this crap party trick.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, I'm good. I'm good. I nothing to report.
This is the longest gap
This end.
in probably our communication, isn't it, since we started this chat off? And I think it's a good thing because it gives us a little bit more to reflect on. But fuck me, I've been stressed this week, dude. Like people have even noticed it. Do you know when you like, you just look like you're zoning out all the time, and people are trying to communicate with you like at the end of the day and stuff, and you're literally like, dickhead. And that, yeah, I've been a bit like that all week, but I've been excited to chat to you, to be honest, because we've not had much time to converse.
No, we've not done much of a caught up yet, have we?
No.
No much of a caught up.
Found what have you found this week been like with work and stuff?
Dude, it's really strange. I was saying earlier on to a friend, like, since being back, I don't know whether it's the break that I've had, but I've got like a newfound energy. I don't know like where it's come from, but now I'm training sessions and I'm just better able to manage my energy with it. Whereas before I'd be like, some days when I have long days, I'd come away and like, you know, like you say, when you come away and you can't focus and you can't concentrate and you just feel like almost like you're just away with the fairies. But I don't know, I've managed to like be able to anchor myself better and almost like the way I'll do it as well is I'll program myself real quickly before I go into every session, because I don't do hour sessions, I do 50, and it gives me like a little bit of time to like get into it and get excited and like envision what we're going to do and stuff. And I just, the way I think about it is like, this is, you know, like how giddy you can get for a workout.
Yeah.
That you can look forward to it, and a good leg day or a good back and chest day, or running around doing cartwheels. And so I'll just remind myself like, oh, this is their time now. This is their fucking, and I just try and get as much in as possible. And
yeah, so with the 50 minutes and 10, is that so there's a nice crossover period for your next client?
yes, because I tried doing an hour, but you honestly, if you're going back to back, like you just end up holding in poos and stuff. It's not like, it's not ideal.
Yeah, like you're literally saying bye to one client, thinking in your head, I'm absolutely legging it to the toilet. I'm going to squeeze this shit out. And as you run into the toilet, you're just running towards your next client thinking, shit.
That's how you greet them. You greet them like really, you greet them with a sigh.
Like shouting it over your shoulder. Just give me a minute as you're running down the corridor. Do you
yes,
think,
Lauren, it's a fish. Now give me a minute.
just give me a fucking minute. Have you found that
happiness?
People have been quite keen to train. It's been so obviously this is the second time out of this fucking lockdown shit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I wondered if it was. I wondered if it was like a second, not a second wind, but like because we've been locked down, I feel recharged. Oh shit! I've not got my mic.
No, well, I need to order. I was looking up on it actually before. I need to order a. It's basically a little thing, and on one end it plugs into where your charger is, and it's got a little box with it, and it's got HDMI, USB, and a few other connectors on it. Because, like I was saying, when I bought this laptop, I never
wafer thin. Yeah, your wafer thin.
Sometimes you just expect it, don't you? Like it's like when did they do an iPhone at one point with no headphone jack, and it was like you just don't notice it, do you, till you look for it? If that makes sense. Like my iPhone hasn't got an headphone jack, but they've gone wireless now. The headphones, haven't they? The AirPods.
Yeah. How's your week been? Are you working over Christmas? I'm giving myself 2 days off.
So I'm working tomorrow, another full day. I've been flat out doing full days tattooing, so I'm going to.
I'm working tomorrow.
What's your schedule like?
Driving tomorrow.
Oh shit! So have you got far to go, or is it like?
I'll find out. Yeah, I don't know yet. I'll find out tomorrow morning when I go in for 6.
To be honest, mate, yeah, I'm pretty booked up. I'm working tomorrow, and then throughout next week, I'm pretty much working till Christmas Eve. I'm gonna have a couple of days off over Christmas, and then straight back in a little bit before New Year, and hopefully we'll do another pod over Christmas, and then same goes. But yeah, like I said, I've very much found that it's not a greed thing, but it's almost a bit of a panic thing. Like as much as clients have been trying to book in with me, I've just been accepting it and like overbooking in a way because I want to build my money up a bit after the last lockdown. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you can almost get too ahead of yourself in terms of bookings and think, well, I probably shouldn't work these amount of hours each day because it might have an impact on my ability to communicate with people. Do you know what I mean? My ability to plan around the working. So I'm just going to see how it goes.
It's a real thing that you can get caught up with momentum of life, isn't it? Where if you don't have time to pull away and reflect, like it's all well and good if you're like, I'm going to work this hard for a year or 2 years or 6 months, and then I'm going to plan to then do this and set me up financially. I think that's cool. But yeah, otherwise you do burn out, don't you? Unless you're like the fucking, like The Rock or Kevin Hart, you kind of. I think you do need time.
Yeah, like them motherfuckers. Yeah, and one thing I've noticed, and I don't know why this is coming to my head, but I've noticed there's a massive when you're trying to do your own thing, and there's a lack of support from people around you. Do you know what I mean? Like you tend to find that everyone's so wrapped up in what they've got going on, is no one's really interested in anything outside their own particular bubble, or do you know what I mean? So people don't seem to deviate too much from what they've got going on in the day. Do you know what I mean? I've got friends and stuff that you don't hear from them, and it's not because they don't want to speak to you. They just don't have time, and you don't have time to speak to them. So you can live around the corner from someone and not have a chance to see them for months or weeks. You know what I mean? You get caught up in what you've got going on, and it's the same all round. People get so caught up in their own shit. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. I think people used to have more time for shit. There's too many distractions now, and there's too much going on. I find that, like, literally before I finished that tattoo, and I was straight out the door going picking my tea up, and then I come back to the shop and I've been pissing around with that pump and stuff, which is still pumping the water out. And
we can hear it.
We can all hear. Can you actually hear it badly?
No, I think it's the fish tank.
Probably both, because I can hear both. I can hear the water gushing and then the fish tank bubbling.
You've got a surround sound of water flow. Like one side wasn't enough. Your fish tank wasn't enough. You had to go and flood the basement, Paul.
I just want to be surrounded by water features and fountains and stuff. I've just got like water trickling down the walls and stuff, and I'm just sat in this chair completely naked except from a pair of goggles and holding
a hose pipe, just letting it just ever so slightly spill out at the top.
Trickle just onto my head. I just find trickling water very arousing. Why did that develop a silence there?
I just wanted to leave you with it.
You know, you've said something quite awkward, and then you just want to leave. I'm gonna let that fucking grow. I'm gonna let the awkwardness grow a little bit.
Let that air out.
Yeah.
Just linger.
Like if you farted and you know it's going to smell, but you don't want to tell people, you want to let them figure it out. I'm going to let them notice this. I'm going to allow their senses to discover it.
Not going to deprive them of their senses. Not going to tell them.
It's like if you're teaching someone sometimes, rather than telling them what's going on, you let them discover, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's probably got to be true for kids as well.
Yeah, massively.
I can't imagine. Well, yeah, I definitely didn't take advice.
It's a good job with using that metaphorically and not literally about sniffing a fart. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I often think, bro, like when you're talking about people having their own like lives and getting caught up in their own momentum, I think about that with like people having their stories. Like you ever like, I don't know, like see a plane go by and it's some dude, like it's not like a boa or anything like that, not like a big jet plane, but like, you know, one of these like
when you like driving through the countryside and you can see them propeller planes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like something like that, and you just look up and you just think, I wonder what that guy's story is.
How's he gone? What's created him to be in a situation to be flying that right now?
Yeah.
I know I wonder that, to be honest.
Or like if you see a dude with a fucking like, you see a dude with like a fucking Harley Davidson and Christmas lights going down the road, and it's like really ridiculously loud, and you just think like, what the fuck? Like, what does he do? Like,
what is he doing?
Yeah, like what? Like, you just see him like that, and he just turns out he's the guy that sits on the fucking slide and gives you the nod, but he's like drives Christmas lights on his time off.
Oh, he's like a dinner lady or something. Just like works at a school. He's just got like a nurse or something, but at night time he's like got this big grizzly beard and goes on his bike just around the streets hustling.
Doing that hustle, shaking his tail feather,
shaking that ass. So even though you're back to work, you've kept the odd shift doing this driving, yeah?
No, not really. I did one a few weeks back.
What's your reasoning for doing it tomorrow? Because I thought Saturday would be a big client day for PT.
This is no, this is a big part of like, I don't want to burn out, so I don't want to do 6 days a week. you do 6 days a week. For me, it just all ends up morphing into one, and then I don't enjoy the work.
Yeah.
I have 2 days, and I have 2 days off. And this is the thing, like I could get it's like I'm aware of the fact that I could maybe not drive and then get more client base and then not have to drive like on that day. Like I could have Saturday as client day, but then you're just doing one thing. Whereas when you're doing like clients and you just do 1 day of driving, it mixes it up a little bit. It doesn't seem as abrasive.
Yeah, so what you're saying about doing 6 days and that 1 day off's not enough to recharge, like, so the fact that you're doing driving, even though it's working, it's a different task, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a different thing.
Using your mind differently, you use it, every aspect to that. To be fair, it couldn't be further from a PT job, really, could it? Sat in a truck on your own, probably with an erection from the engine of the truck. You dirty bastard. I know what you dirty lorry drivers are like.
Shaking my prostate. It's just vibrating my butt.
Hey, you're feeling it deep in your plums.
Yeah, my seat's called Donna.
your bum thrusting down on Donna.
Do you do 6 days? Do you?
I have done this week. Yeah,
yeah.
It's been killer. I'm not strict to like. Yeah, I'll always do 6 days. But what tends to happen is if I usually have a day off in the week. A lot of the time through cancellations, I always try and book to allow for error, because you always will tend to get someone let you down. Not every week, but when it happens, sometimes you can see it as a blessing, because you've booked to nothing, where that one particular day is just as beneficial taking it off, because you're resting. But I'm very guilty of overworking myself. I do it a lot, and a lot of it comes from panicking about, you know yourself, if you're self-employed, you get what you can now, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You could have a really quiet week and think, shit, where's this money coming from for that? Or so you are most planning for the future, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be like, it's funny because I'll talk to someone and I'll be like, oh no, I'm good for clients now. And then someone will come along and be like, yeah, I'd like to do 3 sessions a week. And I'm like, yes. And I'm like, yeah. Sure. And like, I imagine you're the same. You're like fully booked. And so I was like, can I get a 4-hour slot on you? Yeah, sure. No worries. We'll get you right in.
Just only prep. You only think about the money, don't you? Do you ever have a day off and like you plan for the day off to be quite chilled and stuff, and then it gets to the middle of the day and you've not really done anything, and you start feeling guilty, don't you? You start thinking, shit, should I have been doing this for this day, or should I have been there? But
you know what I do on those days?
What?
Clean. Like if I know I've got a day off and I'm planning to not do anything, I'll get up and I'll just spend like 30 minutes to an hour just like sweeping, wiping stuff down, cleaning, brushing stuff. I'll just do like an hour of cleaning.
In terms of being at the gym, or do you mean in like at home, or?
Yeah, either at my girlfriend's or here.
So what you're saying is the task of cleaning to you is like a quite therapeutic and chilled.
Well, more than just that. I think for me, what cleaning is for me is like, I really like the Buddhism, like the term, like the way they do it in the monasteries. So the monks they'll clean the monastery. They'll have rotas and they'll do it on a different date. They'll do a different. So they'll have like, if it ends on a 4th, they'll have repairs and maintenance, and so they do it like that way. And they'll clean different things. And they were set like, I like the sound of this. They were saying like there was outside, they had a wooden floor that was polished, and it says like it was polished like every day, and it was so immaculate. There was like glass, and it was like a mirror. So you'd have this path.
Army boot.
Pardon?
Like a bull army boot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So so you'd have this like, and especially in like the spring, they were saying in autumn, like where the leaves would change in different colors, you'd have the reflection of the trees like red and orange and yellow down on that path. And I noticed that with cleaning is like, when you go into it, what's strange is like, let's say I say, oh, I'm going to clean the garage part of my van out. Yeah. I can then, there's levels to it, because it's then like, and you watch your brain, you're like, oh, okay. And you notice how your brain wants to take shortcuts. Because if I'm going to clean the garage, that means like, well, that could be draining the water tank, cleaning the inside of the water tank, draining the filter, or I could just sweep the garage bit, just where the section is. And then it's just so much detail that, you learn about attention to detail through the cleaning. And I think, and also when you're in that space, you feel, it slows you down, because everything's so clean. You don't want to rush, and you don't want to, like, let's say like I'm making something and I'm aware of how immaculate everything is around me. I don't want to then start spilling it, or if I'm getting in my cab and the cab's really clean, I'm aware of my shoes and not like stepping on the windscreen. And I'll keep my feet off the windscreen usually if I've cleaned in there.
Keep your feet. You'll manage to. It'll be really difficult for you, but you'll just about manage to keep your feet off the roof.
Yeah.
To where your feet will never normally go.
Yeah.
So
basically, no, and I don't piss on the steering wheel either.
Yeah, you try and avoid rubbing your ass crack directly on the steering wheel. It's tough, I know, but I'm willing to do it. I like doing that, but I'm willing to not do it. It's just this time.
It's a beautiful art, this cleaning. You know, you're 1 minute you're cleaning, you're making it immaculate, and you just feel the inner presence, and you don't want to shit in
Yeah.
your you don't want to shit in your
I've just got
what's
to
it called?
try. I've just got to try so hard to not stick my tongue in the exhaust pipe. But yeah, going back to what you were saying about the thingy that brought to my mind. I remember thinking about when I was in basic training in the army, and you had to. Part of it was keeping all your kit perfect, ready for inspection, and this aspect of it was something I wasn't particularly good with. But when they taught us about bulling boots, which is, for anyone that doesn't know, it's the action of you're applying. I don't even know what it is. It's like shoe polish, but you apply
It's
it.
just regular shoe polish, black regular shoe polish.
Yeah, it is.
You
But
get like fancy ones, but essentially it's just
yeah,
many layers, isn't it?
yeah, that's what I mean. But you layer it up, and you use a mad little bit of cloth, don't you, to rub in circles till it gets shiny. But there was people in training, and there was people sat there at night for hours and hours just doing that on the boot, and I wasn't one of them people. Do you know what I mean? But looking back, they didn't doing that. What wasn't because they wanted you to have a perfectly clean boot. It was to teach you. It was to teach you to put effort into something, wasn't it, and look after something. So the action of doing that, because I always seen it as pointless. I thought, why the fuck would I spend hours and hours and hours, day by day, just to make this stupid pair of boots shiny? Do you know what I mean? Which is, and as soon as you walk in them, it just all cracks and falls off, doesn't it?
Yeah, like immediately.
Yeah,
to the point where when they remember, like when they'd inspect your boots, so like, okay, we need to inspect your boots. So for Christ's sake, don't wear them. Walk out with flip flops on and hold them and shit like that. Like you couldn't like just walk out in them because
I remember putting my foot in the boot, and you know when you walk, your heel strikes into the floor, and then what happens? You go onto your tiptoes.
Yeah.
But if you do that in them boots, it creates a big seam, doesn't it, where the boot bends and all that glass looking like shoe polish, which you've probably put about 30 hours into doing little circular motions. You just watch it flake off in one footstep. It's mad.
So when you're walking, you just like, it's almost as if your foot's prosthetic. It's like you're just walking like this.
Yeah.
Like no bend at all in your like no flexibility or anything, or any bend, and you're just walking, like brick feet.
You're walking like you're walking on fucking really sharp broken glass or something, and you're like putting your feet down carefully. But yeah, no, I wasn't good at bulling boots, and I never did quite get it, but I do understand that there's more to it than just the fact that they want you to have this clean boot. It's a discipline, isn't it? It's putting time into something that you might not feel is important, but it's something that essentially, like a lot of the things in the army, when they thrash you for stuff and you just think, I've just been thrashed just because my clothes weren't ironed properly, or I've missed a tiny bit when I was shaving my chin. There's a little bit of hair, and you just used to think, fuck off. But ultimately, that was all for a reason, wasn't it? It was the discipline.
The attention to detail, as well as the discipline, it wasn't it, dude. The only thing I excelled in the department of cleanliness and like making things neat, like to the point where like that was the only thing that I was fucking good at, like literally that and fucking physical shit, like literally, like to the point where it was embarrassing for me. I remember in basic training, I'm there like a 16-year-old fucking, and like when I was 16, dude, I looked about 10. I fucking, like, I'm still just growing this bit here. Like now I'm almost 30 and I'm starting to get this bit in my beard. I'm like, yes, going through puberty now. And I remember just being there, and we'd have a locker inspection, and they just rip everything out of people's lockers, like shit,
Yeah.
shit, and fucking just ripping it all out, throwing it around, and then mine would just be immaculate and left there, and I'm just like stood there, and they were like, all of yours are fucking shit. See this one here, this is what, and I'm like, oh god,
You become like the staff pet, didn't you? You know, like
yeah,
pet.
yeah,
Look how
like,
good this student can fold his black socks so they've got a smile line in them.
yeah,
Who
yours are
cares? He's not
frowning.
smiling. That was the most stupid thing ever. Make
Yeah,
the socks so they look fucking happy. Who gives a shit if socks look happy? Why would I? So what, you go, you leave civilian life and you think, I want to train as a soldier. I'm going to join the army. I'm going to go to basic training, and one of the first things they teach you is you have to have a shelf with socks individually folded in a certain way that they look happy. It's just fucking weird, isn't it? It's so weird.
like it just comes about because some fucking because some like general in like the 1700s just had a weird foot fetish, and like it just came around
Yeah.
for that, and then it's just lived on, it's just lingered like a fart.
He was really happy. He just used to inspect all the soldiers' feet one by one, starting with the youngest first, youngest soldiers. Where's the recruits coming, turning up? Just get in my office. Get your feet out, son.
Yeah, socks on the pavement.
Yeah, so there was a few things like that that I thought was mad. I never quite got the hang of March in me. I thought, I don't know, I thought it looked quite gay. Do you know, like when like when you've got a dead childish attitude where you're like looking at something, you're just thinking, I don't want to do that. I think I'll look stupid doing that, and he's just trying to make you do this proper march like that. Your arms are coming up. I don't know. It didn't suit me. I looked proper stupid when I was marching.
Come on, Paul, it'll be fun. It'll be fun, Paul. No, I think it looks gay. Oh, come on. But all your friends are out there doing it. They want you to do it as well.
I know, yeah.
Or like, or like, but like as you're marching, you've just got like you've just got a really like stubborn, angry, upset, sulky face. You're just like, no, I don't want to do it. Sulking whilst marching. Like actually, didn't you know Tom and Jerry? Remember the cat Tom? Didn't he like do like marching and being like,
yeah, when he storm off.
Yeah, like storm off. That was you marching.
The marching band. What time are you up tomorrow, dude?
I've got to be in work for 6, so I'll be up at 4:30.
When I sent you those screenshots the other day about training in the morning, it's because I've started doing it this week. I've been getting up early, despite the fact that I know I'm going to have a long day at the shop, and I've been going to the gym, and I've not. I wanted to read up and just refresh my memory and, just strengthen in my mind, knowing that it's worth doing, because you know yourself, if you've got a set hours to go to work, but you decide to get up a lot earlier than that to go and do something that you don't have to do, it's so much easier to just think, I'm going to have the extra hour in bed. But if you get up, you just feel so much better for it in the long run. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The hard bit is the hard bit's getting out of bed. You've got to get straight up, haven't you? If you start snoozing and stuff. And I'm really bad for grabbing my phone when the alarm goes off, and because it's gone overnight, I'll have loads of notifications, and the first thing I do is just start reading my notifications, and then before I know it, I'm on Instagram, and I think, shit, 20 minutes has gone past, and I need to get out that habit. I need to break that habit, and it is an issue. Do you know what I mean?
You know, the way I think about that is immediately, as soon as you started your day, you've given your power over to happenstance and
I like the word happenstance.
Yeah, or haphazard. You've had a haphazard way of.
I quite like the word glockenspiel as well.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is.
What about perspicacious?
I had a word the other day that I proper liked to look like the sound of, and I really wanted to tell it you, and I forgot what it was.
Oh, dude, write it back, man. I love words.
Point then, but...
My favorite insult is ninny hammer. Sounds fucking. Sounds good.
I
Like
really need to
Plonker's good as well. Paul Perry was telling me about him getting an argument with some dude because he said Maria hit her bag on his van, and they were like, we don't know, she might have done, but we're not too sure. And but he was like really kicking off with her.
Yeah.
And so he was like, so he starts kicking off with him, and then like Perry was like, oh yeah, and he started getting really angry. So I called him a plonker, and he was like, right, and like getting out his van. I just love the idea of like a fully grown adult man losing his shit, and the last straw was he got called a plonker.
Dude, have you seen that video where the fucking some guy pulls up at the side of a cyclist and starts giving him a load of shit? And what happens is a cyclist basically tells him to fuck off. I'm not sure what he says. And this really angry fat man
chases after him.
Yeah, and falls over, but his camera's in the rear view watching him fall in slow motion. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. That's like immediate karma, just immediate.
Yeah, of course. I don't I can say I've pretty much never got into any argument with anyone over driving, or like I sometimes do cut people up. And what I also do, like if someone gets in my way when they're driving or cuts me up, or in a way, because I'm shit and sometimes do it, like I don't understand why people get such bad road rage, because like I've had loads of times where I've accidentally pulled in front of somebody and they'll pull up they'll drive at the side of you and they'll be like out the window, but I just find it hilarious.
You're like this. Blinkers on, just straight.
Yeah. You don't want to look across. So what you're doing, just looking dead forward, but they're right there. And they've even pulled a little further forward. They're in that part of your vision, but they're literally just there, and you're like
hands waving around like an octopus, and you're just like you're certain that you can't see him.
What do you reckon that is? When someone gets road rage on that level, is it because they're an angry person, because they've got their own shit going on? And why does me cutting in front of you a little bit or pulling out on you by accident give you so much anger enough to follow you and give you some shit? I don't get it. I just got my finger stuck in that. Did you see the panic on my face?
No, but I maybe a little bit. But I'm gonna watch it back.
I swear to God, when we watched this back, I might have had it out the screen, but I was dead casually going inside it like that, and it created like a vacuum and got stuck, and it scared me a bit. My face went. Yeah. So what causes this sort? What causes this anger? And I want to talk about this because
I think
I'm victim of this quite often. I'm a happy driver. I fuck up a lot on the road, and I go about my day. I can cut someone up, and I might do it that often that a lot of the time I'm unaware it's happened. So I've had people driving at the side of me, having a go at me, and I'm not even aware what I've done. Hey, killer boots, man! You know what I mean?
Yeah, pull over. No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing. The thought I had just then when you were saying that was like, well, first off, it's fight or flight, isn't it? Because it's high speed. It's like you're on alert, and you're on that, like you're in a different, like now all of a sudden it's fight or flight because it's speed and danger. So you're going to be ready, set. You're going to be primed. And then I think with the cutting up thing, imagine that's just like an ego thing where you have to relinquish power because it's like this guy is now like took my place, like he cut in front of me like the line, like a queue. Like,
yeah, so they see it as their bit of road and you've entered their space.
Yeah.
So they get like territorial about it. You know what? Because like what you said, I've had situations where like, because I've been driving along, dude, and I've had someone pull out on me and the road's been a bit wet and I have had to swerve a bit, and your adrenaline instantly kicks in and you feel that fear, don't you?
Yeah.
But
Shoot down your neck.
What I met with after that is the fact that the relief of like thinking, fucking hell, I could have crashed then. And then for some reason, I'm just very chilled about it. I've never had a go at anyone when I've been driving, and I've had a license for 10 years. And I've probably had, I reckon I've probably had about 50 people have a go at me while I've been driving. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm known for not paying as much attention as I should on the road. Sometimes, like, I will cut people up without even realizing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just dating.
Dude, when I first started driving, I watched the full Game of Thrones season 1.
What do you mean?
You know, on the speedo.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Where was you going? Was you driving, lorry driving?
What's the word? What's the word? Fucking
Fliggity donks.
Flonky dinks. God damn it, dude. My fucking brain.
Words.
Yeah, I reckon we're fresher in the morning, aren't we? The word I'm trying to think of is allegedly. Allegedly.
Right.
I allegedly watched the entirety of.
I see what's going on here. Right, I get it. So what was you allegedly doing?
Well, I just watched the entire season of.
No, but was you driving a lorry, or do you mean driving? Was you allegedly driving a lorry?
Possibly, yeah.
Why was you driving a lorry, or was you driving me crazy?
Sound like a Spice Girl, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, driving a lorry like years and years and years back. But the thing is as well that it sounds real bad, and it might be a little bit, but at the same time, you're like, the thing is, when you're doing like such a 55 and everyone's doing like 80 and shit, they're just going by, and then the only thing in front of you is another lorry, which is like miles and miles and miles away.
Yeah.
And you know when you go to like overtake them, then.
Yeah, so you feel capable of slightly getting distracted.
Slightly bending the rules.
Yeah. You've just got like, it's the difference between like the motorway and the fucking Winterfell. You start thinking like you're heading to King's Landing or something on fucking Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Like missing your turning and shit, because at some point your concentration's going to cross over.
Yeah, like when you're on the phone and someone says something to you and you're writing it down, and then you like you're writing your own shit, but then someone will say something, so you'll just end up writing like orange juice like down on the fucking paper.
Dude, I've had so as you noted before, I was tattooing today, and my customer put extras on, which I've never seen extras, but it sounded hilarious.
Good.
Yeah, so, and I'm guilty of this. So I tattoo and I sit basically where I'm sat now, but I face this way, and the telly's there, and I'll be looking at the client's skin, and I'll be doing the tattoo, and every so often something hilarious will be happening on the telly, and I'm wanting to look at it so bad. And today, you know Stephen Merchant in it?
Yeah.
I don't know what his character's called, but I'm grabbing it.
Like, oh, is that a muffin?
What?
Have you seen the bit with the muffin yet?
I'm not sure, but the bit that got me today, do you remember years ago when you used to have these pens where it'd have a naked lady on it, but she'd be clothed, and then you'd click it or turn it upside down, it'd undress her?
Yeah.
Stephen Merchant gets caught masturbating over one of these pens. And the brilliant thing is it's not even his pen. It belongs to the other guy as well. And it was just, this was taking place behind me while I was tattooing today, and I was literally tattooing going like that. Like looking back and laughing. Like still got the needle going in the skin and stuff.
Just as you're tattooing, you're like this.
And eventually it's like little looks like this. Yeah, it just slowly occupies more and more. Do you know what that's a lot like, dude?
And then it cuts to, and then it starts doing that, and you're doing that, and then like he looks back, and you've just got like a, and then all of a sudden you've just got a Dorito with a bit of dip as well. Like, oh, you're eating it. What's it like?
Yeah, like I'm chewing the Dorito and loads of crumbs are dropping on the skin that's supposed to be done clean where I'm tattooing.
The top of the shoulder, just crisps on the shoulder. Oh.
And I'm like wiping away the crisp with my hand, but like the dead sharp, and they're like scratching his tattoo, fresh open wound tattoo. Do you know what I think's mad, right? And I'm
like eating them, scraping them and then eating them, like picking the bits up off of them and eating it.
Yeah, taking it off his tattoo and dipping it back in the dirt and then eating it.
They like look round and you're like feeding them.
Yeah, like the only thing that gets me caught, because my client's also watching the telly, and the thing that gets me caught is he hears my teeth crunching the Doritos and quietly trying to eat it. Do you know what I think's mad, right? I get you drink driving's banned, and you can get points for drink driving, and you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't drive if you've had a drink, but I do feel like you're able to drive if you've had a little bit of alcohol, as long as you think you're not pissed. But you could fail a breathalyzer, but you could still have your wits about you to a certain degree. And I don't agree with drink driving, but what I think's mad, you are able to be prosecuted and you be able to get in trouble for drink driving, even if you have a little bit of alcohol, to the point where you're actually really able to judge things. Your awareness is still quite good because you're not drunk, you're a little bit tipsy, but there's no measurement on someone's fatigue. Have you ever drove absolutely knackered to the point where you're literally falling asleep? And I've had it, dude, where I've been driving back from the army on a Friday and I'm in traffic and I'm driving along and I'm literally like that, dude. But I'm having to like open my eyes, and I find fatigue to be a lot more dangerous than alcohol. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then when I say fatigue, I mean sleep deprivation to the point where you've lacked sleep day after day, and it's built up to the point where you're knackered. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the frustrating thing as well, when you with that like argument as well, is you be like driving along on the motorway, and then just as you're like falling asleep as well, you just end up hitting the bumpy things, and they just wake you back up. So it's pointless. Yeah. Like, you can never get your head down on the motorway. It's infuriating.
I know, they should just remove them bumpy things so I can get some good sleep.
Yeah, it's really inconsiderate.
Trying to sleep. Just very inconvenient to a nice sleep.
Arguing with your girlfriend because she wakes you up. I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying to get my head down.
Dude, I've got an experience, and I'm not sure if you know about this, but my first car, I went down to Plymouth when I left training. So I was now a trained soldier, and I went down to Plymouth to do the commando course down there.
Ooh,
I was training for that, and there was a lad called Yatesy down there, and it's not the Yatesy that you knew. It was another lad that was on that course with us. And what's happened? We've been out on the piss, and he's drove us down into Plymouth from the Citadel, and we're out drinking. So he's got my car key. He's drove us, and we said, all right, we'll leave my car in town. We'll drink. We'll pick it up in the morning. It's only like a 10-minute drive. And what's happened is we go out on the piss, we get drunk and stuff, and you know when you're out with like a group of lads, people can get lost from the group, can't they? And you think, right, where's he gone? And what happened is he vanished middle of the night. Must have been about 4 a.m. And we got back to the base, and he was nowhere to be seen. And we woke up the next day, he was still nowhere to be seen. And my phone rang at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd been up for a couple of hours, and it was this Yates here, and he was just like, "Dude, I'm so sorry, I've crashed your car." And I was like, "What do you mean?" What he'd done, he'd fucking he'd been in the club. He'd managed to arrange someone that was up for letting him sleep with him, and he decided to drive to this girl's house 100 and odd miles away at 4 a.m. drunk. So he set off on the motorway, and he was driving for a couple of hours, like an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever. He fell asleep on the motorway and fully veered off and shot down a grass verge and just ripped the car off. And it was my car.
Fuck.
My first car. He come off the motorway at like 70 miles an hour and like literally took out loads, them posts. But luckily he didn't veer off into the, if you're in the fast lane and you veer off into the central reservation, obviously you'd probably spin out, wouldn't you? And the crash he might have even died. It was bad. He was in the fast lane, and what he's done is he's fell asleep. But at that time, the motorways are completely empty, aren't they? He's fell asleep and veered off towards the slow lane and like gone down into like a grass verge, and that grass had managed to slow him down enough so that when he hit the barriers, essentially, he hit him at a speed that wasn't too dangerous, but it completely ripped the car off. And he had to get to he was in a pretty bad way. But yeah, he just rang. Imagine you went out on the piss with someone, but he's got your car key. And then in the morning he rings you, or the next day, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, I've crashed your car. I've just had to go to hospital. I've cut my head open or whatever." And you're just like, "Fuck off, dude." Do you know what I mean? You literally taking the piss. Yeah, but he was telling the truth, and that's the same scenario. He was drink driving, but he it
was a double whammy.
Yeah, he'd fell asleep and come off the motorway. Fucking mad. But it was one of them. It was a Peugeot 106. Do you remember them? Them little shitty proper small car.
Dude, I think I remember. I think I actually remember you having it. And then fucking Rob had a fucking blue Saxo or a blue. Or did he have the Peugeot? He had the Peugeot as well.
No.
The one where he was like bigging it up to be this like thing that was rapid. That was like a rocket.
Yeah.
Still like a little Peugeot thing.
Yeah, no, it's mad, isn't it? It's a mad. I bet that's a massive thing in lorry driving, isn't it? Why they've got the rules where, because you're only allowed to do so many hours, aren't you? There's a limit.
Yeah, you're allowed to do a lot though. Guess how many hours you can do in a day?
How many?
15.
Fucking hell. Imagine if it was 23. You're allowed to just have an hour's sleep per day. You like to really work, yeah.
Honestly, mate, yeah, I've done 21-hour days.
That's mental.
When I did double manning.
So how's your client basis at the minute, dude? Have you got some loyal clients that have kept you stuck with you through the whole lockdown, or have you got new clients? What's going on?
Yeah, I've got clients that have been with me since like day one, since like 3 and a bit years.
Yeah.
Because it's one of them where I'm really open nowadays to the idea of like spending money on yourself and things that will bring you value.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Like I'm way more likely now to like get lessons on stuff. Yeah, I mean, like if all of a sudden I want to like play piano or guitar, I'll get like I'd be quite happy to like fork out and pay lessons for it.
Well, we spoke about this.
You're doing tennis, aren't you?
Yeah. I agree, and where I think this comes from is as we're getting a bit older, we're becoming more humble, aren't we? Because if I was a bit younger, I'd have always thought, fuck paying 25 quid for a lesson. I can just go and pay to use the court, or you know what I mean? And I'd have always took a similar view where I'd have thought, fuck that, do you know what I mean? But no, I agree, dude. I'm very open to paying for services now. If like, even like you said, I really liked I respected the fact that you've tried therapy and stuff, because especially as a man, like there's a lot of people that would they'd suffer with their own thoughts and their own issues, and they'd almost say they'd feel like they're too strong to use therapy, or like, oh, I don't need that shit, you know what I mean? So when you open yourself up to things more, it does allow you to why not use something that's available? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Money's essentially an idea, isn't it? It doesn't exist until you swap it for something. If you've got money, if you had money in the bank and never ever spent a penny of it, what value's that money got until you buy something with it? Until you swap that money for something real. Do you know what I mean? So I agree with respect to like paying for things and using services and stuff.
and it's a very it's a very valuable thing to swap your money for. Like if you swap your money for like trainers or a new handbag.
Why are you just going to say new hammer then? One sec, dude.
That's aggressively loud.
How was that able to fucking? I don't
Stop it.
Is it
like the way I see it? The way I see it is like you can buy handbags, you can buy shoes, you can buy an oven, you can buy like I don't know, or you can buy like handbag and clothes, and then ride the carousel of like almost like being happy and then down again and being happy, or you can spend it on valuable things such as like deepening your perception or your insight or what you know and understand about yourself. So like you can learn about yourself in therapy. I think therapy, everyone will be doing it soon. I think like like when we first started, dude, I've been working out, I don't know about you, but probably for about 15, 16 years now.
Yeah, we both have, haven't we, to be fair?
Some people not. And then I was like, this would be big. And I know it seems obvious, and it is. And then I think meditation's becoming bigger, and I think therapy will as well. I think everyone will do it soon. Like it'll just be like getting a personal trainer, because then we're in more of a space that feels where people are more openly vulnerable. And I think the more vulnerable you are as well, the more you get back. Have you ever noticed that if you're talking to someone and you just tell them something, like if you might not be that close, and then you just tell them something quite open and vulnerable, and they're like, and then all of a sudden they're like,
yeah,
they it almost.
You know
they're
what,
like,
you know what I relate? Do you know what I relate that to, dude?
what?
So I was having a discussion with a tennis instructor, and I was basically talking about his preferences in terms of working with someone. What does he?
Still here, bro.
What, your thing's gone off, dude?
Yeah, I'm still here.
How are you?
I'm just.
I feel like it's hard to talk to you and I can't see your face.
I am listening.
Are you? Yeah, he was saying. He was basically saying that when he takes different clients, they all have different methods of learning. But he said it's much easier to teach someone something in terms of a skill in tennis than it is to change someone who already has their own technique. So, if you've learned something, but you've learned to do it the wrong way, or you've got bad habits and stuff.
Yeah.
He said them bad habits are hard to get rid of over time. So the longer them bad habits have been used, the harder they are to get rid of. So he said it's almost better to work with someone that's completely fresh in that field. Do you know what I mean?
And that could be a philosophy for living your life that way. Like if you're open-minded, you're then going to be a more teachable person. Like,
yeah, of course.
Like, like if you were to, and imagine like, maybe that's why trying to learn who you are and about yourself and your insecurities and your demons. Perhaps that's why that's so difficult to do, because you have been like subconsciously programmed and conditioned to everyone's ways. Like, it's crazy how like people can influence you, and you know, like you can be certain of something, and it only takes someone you trust to have a doubt about something that you've got a dream of or an idea of, and then you start, and then the doubt can creep in, and you're like, what the fuck? This is their fucking like shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, you know what looks really funny now? So you've gone off the camera and all I can see is your logo on the screen, and I can just hear you talking, and occasionally can just hear a lighter lighting up. You know, like the sound of when you're trying to make a lighter light and it's going
yeah.
Just make the sound for me, please.
I'm just this bloody candle, Paul.
I know what it's like when you need to go off the screen to light your candle.
Candle for prayers.
Like a very private candle.
My own private candle. Dude, have you
bring your motherfucking face back on the screen.
Have you ever heard of consecration of space?
Constipation.
Constipation.
Where you struggle to what's it called? Soil yourself.
Yeah. But not but
you
yeah.
actually have lit the candle though.
That is constipation, but
that candle, it looks like a weird shape.
A salt lamp or a salt, like, you know, a salt rock.
Nice. Yeah. So what was you saying?
The person that bought it for me was like, "It's made of salt. Look," and licked it.
Does it taste of salt?
Yeah, taste of salt. I was like,
So could you scrape some of that onto your fish and chips and it'd be sufficient or not?
Yeah, if you were in it, and it's Himalayan, so it's good for you. It's probably got loads of like, you know, like molding gels and stuff. So you'd be like, and your salt just some sort of like.
You're going to be something that's not suitable in the mixture.
Yeah, just some weird chemical that has you growing like a third ear.
Yeah, or like.
And this third ear has a desire for.
They've found, when they was making the candle, they found that the only thing would hold the salt together was like bat shit or something, and you're just licking away at it, and you're feeling really spiritual, scraping it onto your fish and chips, thinking, yeah, I use Himalayan salt. Fuck off.
Yeah. And it turns out like the only molding gel is like really fat dudes that don't get laid, like they have to jizz, and like their jizz is the only molding jizz. You just scrape it onto like your peppers and stuff. You're having like a Mexican night.
Really fat dudes that don't.
Got like a fucking dinner party around, really sophisticated, and you're doing it for them.
But you're like treating it really preciously, like Parmesan, like it's puke. I need to stop playing with this. I keep shoving things in it.
Would you wait, shoving things?
Fingers.
Just got your penis out. I blew my candle out there when I laughed.
Did you laugh it out?
Yeah.
Imagine if there was a warning sign on the side of your Himalayan candle. Warning: do not have fun and laugh around this candle, otherwise it may blow out the flame. It may extinguish the flame. So you're only allowed to have a really small amount of fun when you're around the candle. You've got to be quite miserable to pull off the candle. Like, you find that if you're having a little bit of fun, the flame starts to dwindle.
And you're and the tagline is "Your joy is the candle's mortality."
Yeah, and you just like something really witty and hilarious gets said, and you're proper trying to hold it back because you don't want the flame to go out.
It wouldn't be Macaulay then.
Yeah. He was so boring. He was
I've met people since.
He
But
reminded me of like a massive pan of cooked rice with nothing in it, and you've just got a spoon. You got
no,
to try and get through this whole pan of rice. That's what a conversation with Macaulay was like.
yeah, and it was brown rice and it was undercooked.
Yeah. Undercooked and been left on the stove overnight.
It's all just like mangled together somehow, but still rock hard, still like too crunchy.
Yeah. And the only thing you're allowed to flavour it with is more brown rice. Trying to season it. With the only thing that you're allowed to water it down with is even less cooked rice.
And you have to stand in a bucket of cold water with ice in the water.
With mice in the water.
Mice and ice. So you just got numb feet that are being nibbled on whilst you're trying to eat down brown rice seasoned with more brown rice.
That does sound boring. Or does it sound Macaulay? That could be a catchphrase for when something boring gets said.
This is the question that we all ask.
What would you do if he becomes one of our subscribers and discovers this particular shout out to him?
I'd be like, hey, why not leave a comment below and tell us a story?
Imagine how boring his comment would be.
It'd be really long-winded. Yeah, it'd be very long.
Yeah,
because it would have to immediately set dread into you, or just immediately.
What was the particular thing that happened when we discovered how boring he was? I just remember one particular conversation when me and you both said afterwards. I just realized.
Yeah, both just like, oh fuck me, fucking hell.
I feel it felt slightly happier at the end of the conversation.
No, angry. At the end, we're both just like, oh fuck, Jesus.
He was like a dementor, wasn't he, out of Harry Potter? Them black things that just suck the soul out of you while he speaks to you.
Dude, we had some good times though, didn't we? Like, coming up little like, do not operate machinery. if you had a conversation and
imagine having a conversation with Macaulay and then doing a long drive after it. That could be the test for like fighter pilots to see how alert they were. Like they've got they see if they can handle all the, what's it called, the G-force or whatever.
Yeah.
They can handle the G-force in the final test to see if they're going to fly these vehicles that can beat the sound barrier, and they don't want them to pass out. And the final test is a 10-minute conversation with Macaulay, and if they're still awake at the end of it, they're deemed fit to fly this vehicle.
Have you seen SAS Who Dares Wins?
Yeah, I like it.
You know the psychological test with where they're like wet and cold and they get captured, and then now they're trying to like break, and they've even got the guy there, the umpire, and he's the dude that is like, I'm the umpire, and he has to make sure they're psychologically okay and they're in mind. Like when they get captured, they just get put in a room with Macaulay and just starts talking to them, and they've just got to be in there for 24 hours.
Yeah, imagine that. He could break anybody. Hey, shout out to Macaulay. Peace and love, brother. Yeah, you're not boring, Macaulay.
Who knows now? Who knows nowadays?
What would you do if he was now the next Tony Robbins motivational speaker? He not only wasn't boring, he was incredibly motivating.
Yeah, incaptivating.
Yeah,
like it was like the Daily Mirror and all these, like, everyone's like incaptivating, magical, mind expanding.
Yeah, like words to describe it afterwards, it had stuff like breathtaking, in speech bubbles.
Yeah, it took my breath away, and
Yeah.
it'd be like from Barbra Streisand.
What time are you up in the morning, dude?
4:30, dog. Early. What about you?
Half
When?
six. I'm gonna get up at 6:30. Gym. Get to the shop for about 8ish, 8:30, and then my
What are
clock.
you training in the gym?
So I've gone backwards to I've gone back to some more compound large muscle group exercises at the minute. So I'm doing a lot of chin ups, deadlifts, squats, bench press. I'm trying to fuck out all the fuck out. I'm trying to fuck out. I'm trying to fuck off all. I'm trying to fuck off all the, the nitty gritty bits in between where you're doing like loads of smaller exercises. Yeah, I'm trying to build again, dude. I'm trying to fire up all these muscle fibers and start doing some big exercises again, because I'm just getting back to the gym. I need to shake my body up now. I need to get some results, because yourself, when you've stopped something for a bit, and like the biggest thing that's going to get your motivation back is seeing the difference. So as soon as my strength comes up a bit, I shed a bit of excess weight, and my muscles just have that better shape again that I've had in the past. That'll push me back into the routine I need. Do you know what I mean? And I'm very much enjoying going gym before work at the moment, which I've always found it harder to be bothered in the morning. But what I'm doing is I'm getting up, I'm having my porridge, I'm having a brew, pint of water, get down to the gym, and I'm buying a little
Poodle.
yeah, I'm buying a little energy drink in the gym. There's like it's basically like a week pre-workout, because I've had the pre-workouts in the past. I find them a bit too strong. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a pre-workout fan or not?
Nah, I just drink black coffee if I need it.
Yeah.
But like I'm motivated anyway. I got the luxury of training sort of when I want to during the day, or not when I want to, rather, because I train clients in the morning, so, and sometimes on the evening. So it's like I'll train in the afternoon. I quite like that,
Yeah.
and it is exciting. And dude, like, here's some advice to people that, like, if there's, like you were saying earlier about struggling to get in the gym, and I know you don't have an issue with it. I know you're quite disciplined. You'll get there, certainly. Like, I used to tell myself little different psychological things that I'd fuck with my mind a little. Like, if my mind's being a bitch about it, I'm like, right, I'll go there. I'll do the movements that I know I'm supposed to do, but rather than do that, but I'll do them at like a fuckload less weight. So let's say you're going to do squats and you do 4 sets of 10 at, you plan on doing 4 sets of 10 at 100 kilo or 90 kilo or 60 or whatever it is, 120. Instead of doing that weight, do it at like 4 sets of 10 at 30 kilo or 20 kilo. And then all of a sudden it's like barely any weight for you, depending on your size. And then what you'll find will happen is, because you bargain with yourself a little bit, you end up 9 times out of 10 you just end up training and just going into it and just end up, so it's like, it's convincing yourself to get your feet through the door. That's it. And then if you can convince yourself by being like, okay, we'll do this workout, but just do it with no weight, so it's really simple, you've done the numbers, boom. Or you can do, and I like this one working set. So what you do is, let's say you're going to go in and you're going to do some bent over barbell row. You'll do 3 sets as a warm up. So you'll have like the 20 kilo Olympic bar, boom, do like 15 reps of it. Then you put a little bit of weight on, and then you do maybe like another 15. And then you put a little bit more weight on, then you do like another 15. So that's 3 warm ups. And then by the time you get to your, and obviously it's getting more difficult as well with the reps. So you're like, because the numbers are going up like in weight a little bit, it's starting to get a little bit more tricky, a little bit more difficult. And then yeah, that one set, that's when you go all out and you do like however many reps you can.
Yes, you do like 90% of your 1 rep max.
Yeah.
For
Not one. Yeah. So you do like it. Yeah. So like you won't do 1 rep max, but yeah, you'll do. By the time you get there, by the time you get to your failure, you're quite a few reps in. You might be 8, you might be 12, you might be 15, depending on how you want to do it.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it's, in a way, you're easing your way in, so you're not put off straight away, aren't you? If you went straight back in the gym and you think, right, I'm going to try and do a grueling, horrible session, and you just go away and you're at risk of like injuring yourself and stuff, you're more likely to lack the effort of wanting to go back, aren't you? You're more likely to think, oh, fuck it, I'm going to sack it off. But if you ease your way back in, you're developing a routine slowly, aren't you? And upping the intensity as you go. I'm a massive fan of that as well. I think people can get too obsessed with the gym to the point where they start feeling like they've got to have hit the chest a certain amount every single week and a certain days, and they have dead specific days. As I've developed and got more thingy, I respect structure of training, but I do like sort of having, I see training as a lifelong thing. I think I'm going to target each muscle and I'm going to target these areas over the next 50 years or 30 years. I'm not asked about this week or next. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go and train. I'm going to do as I feel on the day. I go in, see what's a bit tight, think actually my back's feeling ready to go. My chest's still a bit tight, even though I should feel like I should be doing chest. And you can sort of listen to the body. And I think as you get more experience, you're able to do that, aren't you?
Fuck yeah, I did it today. I was supposed to be training legs and first of all, back. So I trained back on Tuesday. I never get back DOMs in the 15 years we've lifted. And then I felt today like I had real bad back DOMs. And I was supposed to be training back with my friend at another gym. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do it because I feel like my back feels fucked. But what I think it was I forgot, like yesterday I did boxing with my friend and we were like working on like body shots and like moving and stuff and doing drills and stuff. So we were like, we did a load of sparring, we did a load of like pad work first, and then we did that at the end. And it's like, I was like, oh, that was what it was. We were fucking going for it, hammering one another, like sparring, just body shots only, and like hammering each other. I was like, oh, that's definitely what that is. That's why I feel like my cores worked, and my lats as well. I think from leaning over, like
So as well as physically fatigued, and the muscle had just been smashed as well.
Shit, yeah. And so I was like, I didn't train back, and then I thought, well, I'm gonna train, my legs feel good and my chest, so I'm gonna train legs and chest. And then in the end I just took a rest day because I was like, you know what, and I ended up doing yoga. I just did 20 minutes of yoga because I was like, the way my body feels is it just needs to move and it needs to stretch properly. And I will stretch, but I like having them days where I do yoga as well, where I'll set out some time and just do yoga.
I miss going for a swim, man. I've wanted to for ages and I just haven't found the time, and I don't know what pools are open at the minute. I don't know what's going on, but I proper want to just go and dip in a pool and just do some lengths casually. I'm not too asked about proper smashing it out, but I hit a point last year before I got in a new relationship. I hit a point where I was doing swimming quite regularly, and I was sort of doing it once or twice a week, and more, for the fitness and the flexibility and the movement, moving the body, work all round workout. I was enjoying it, mate. I really, really like going for a swim.
What do you think it is that you enjoy the most out of it?
I just love being in water, dude. I don't like just swimming hard lengths where I look like, why did a cheeky smile go across your face?
Get in. You've got a fucking got a latch next to you. Like, I love water, and I like that water loves you too. It's just
Yeah.
found you. It seeks you out.
No,
Swimming. You're talking about swimming lakes, and all I can think of is like just the latch down here, the entire
know
cellar.
what I like about swimming, dude? I like how difficult it is. It's fucking hard, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Yeah, no, I do miss it.
Dude, when I go, like, I'm a fucking child though, because like my missus, we'd go at an old gym. She'd go swimming and she'd do like 40 lengths in the pool, just like,
Yeah.
and and then I'd end up being like, I'm gonna swim 10 lengths under the water, and I just like that's my thing. So like I would just do 10 lengths. So I'd do a length there and be like, ooh, like an idiot, and then do a length back, and that'd be mine. Like she's like swimming all elegantly on the top with a basket with a head thing on, and then I'm just some moron like just trying to do the full length, and then trying to get back a bit and stuff, and then just being like, ooh, when I get up. I
It's
used to
so
fucking love
difficult,
it.
isn't it, swimming?
Being underneath as well, you can just like you can't hear anything else. Nothing's
Yeah,
going on. You can hear like you might better hear like the faint sound of like children screeching.
So, you've got work on tomorrow. What's your Sunday plan? Are you having the day off? Are you gonna chill out? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna be a fucking elf. I'm gonna wrap Christmas gifts.
Nice. Elf on the shelf.
Yeah, dog. Drink.
40 on the boardy.
40 on the Toblerone.
Paul on the wall. Paul in the stall.
Paul in the pool.
Paul in the pool.
Paul in the pool doing
Did
lanes.
you enjoy my voice notes the other day?
Which ones?
The ones where I was singing.
No, I told you I didn't.
Why didn't you enjoy them?
I think I wrote back, I don't have time for this.
Did you
There
not
was
enjoy them? Did you listen to them all?
No, I clicked on them so it looked like I played them, but I listened to about 1 second because there was so many.
Oh, dude, you need they're clever. You need to listen back.
What? They're clever.
You not listen to any of them? No.
No, they were just
weird.
like. Did you make it up, or was it just Christmas songs? Because I thought it was
Oh,
just Christmas.
look, I thought of it all.
The first bit sounded like a Christmas song.
No, you need to listen back because it's talking about the podcast each stage of it. It was
Dude, shall I play it now? Are you happy with it?
Play them now. Can you
Okay.
find them?
Yeah, I got them. I'll just scroll up. It was on.
I was basically driving. I'd finished the gym and I was driving to my girlfriend's house, and the drive's only like 5 minutes. And I sent you one of them voice notes, and I kept thinking of another word that would rhyme. I thought I'm going to send him that as well. And I kept thinking of another one. It's not that far up.
No, I got it. It's further than you think.
Podcast go nice with chicken. Boy, it's so finger licking. Reggae sauce. Reggae sauce.
Okay, obviously I take it back about a Christmas song. I remember that wrong.
It's telling a story, man.
On YouTube, it has only 10 views. Reggae sauce.
I don't know why it's related to reggae sauce.
We about to light the fuse. To light the fuse. Reggae sauce. Reggae sauce.
Okay, bearing in mind this is like fucking about what time in the morning was this? So it's like I was probably like.
It was early, yeah. I'd left the gym and I was full of energy, so I started pinging you across these recordings.
Yeah, and I was probably like, why can you not see the time? Why does it not let you see the time? Yeah, so it was early in the morning, wasn't it? And I remember just being like, I probably like was in between clients and thinking, I ain't got fucking time for this.
You certainly had better stuff to do than listen to me recording daft shit.
I'm trying to play it still.
We'll give you great advice. Stream it on your device. reggae sauce. Reggae. You don't have to subscribe.
There's so many.
Unless you get the vibe.
Yeah, I got how many have I sent you?
Reggae sauce. Reggae sauce. Reggae.
Dude, is fucking Facebook Messenger the worst fucking app in the world for sending voice recordings and whatnot? Like,
No,
it cuts out after a minute. And then also, if your phone's, mine's on 100%, so I don't know what's doing now, but you know, if it's on low power mode, you'll start to play a voice recording, or you record one, and it just, after about like 17 seconds, it just goes, nah, and just the screen goes off.
yeah, and what also happens if your screen just shuts off, then where you've listened up to, it cuts off and you can't skip forward. You've got to start it again every time.
Yeah.
It is bad. I've noticed this.
So bad.
I like sending voice notes on WhatsApp or Instagram messaging too bad. Facebook sucks dick, but it's the same. Facebook and Instagram are the same company, aren't they? The Facebook own Instagram, so surely, how's this never been flagged up before? How has nobody ever noticed that their voice recordings are crap? And then the same company, they also own Instagram, and Instagram's kicking ass.
Whooping ass.
Whooping some ass.
Hauling ass. Hauling ass.
Ass.
Yeah, this fucking app won't do it. Doesn't cut it.
It doesn't cut the mustard.
No, I'm reading a book on I just finished a book on Auschwitz, and I was like, guys, try fucking using Facebook fucking Messenger app. Try recording a fucking message, guys. Lighten up. No, it's a.
Are you watching anything on the telly at the minute? Are you watching any good series? Have you seen anything good? Anything worth note?
Nah, what I do is where the TV is, I'll just sellotape the cat to the TV. And I'll watch it.
Face first or the cat's ass? What are you staring into?
So the cat's tail is free. It's free to roam and do its thing. And then just
The rest is stationary.
I might like, oh, so I'll just do each leg, each paw. I'll tape that on, and I'll tape it in different ways. So it might look like it's marching, or it's doing like a lap.
What's the deal with cats? Why do they just go around showing everyone the bumhole?
Mine don't. Mine are really good.
So I've taught them self-respect.
Yeah, I basically started showing my bumhole back, and they were like, "Oh, it's not great."
It's like a bumhole standoff where you're in the kitchen and you both pointing asses at each other, and you basically won. You had the bigger ass. Like when
that's how I assert my dominance.
All animals size each other up, don't they?
Mm.
Do you know what I did find interesting? And this is like not quite related, but there was these elephants. I quite like elephants.
They're just huge vents.
Yeah.
Vents. Oh my god, that's ginormous. It's actually the size of an elephant.
Yeah, just massive vents that have legs on them.
Massive vents that when they blow the air out, it just goes.
Yeah, so they
never tried to do an elephant noise in my life. I need to practice.
No, we're gonna work on that for next time.
Yeah, cool. Meeting tomorrow, 9:15.
These elephants were being studied, and it turns out elephants are really, really intelligent, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what happens, right? An elephant, the leader of an elephant herd, the head of the pack or whatever. I don't quite know what term they use, but the leader of the herd what they'll do is they'll lead them across the land, and they'll walk hundreds of miles. They'll walk for weeks on end to get to a fresh water source, and obviously it's life or death for them to reach this water. Do you know what I mean? The rest of the desert's dry. They've got to travel and reach this water. And what they did, this elephant that was leading the pack, she deviated this mother elephant, this female elephant. She deviated from a path to go to this water source and walked like 100 miles in a different, or however many miles in a different direction. And she walked to the site where one of her kids had died, and she went back to the bones and picked up the bones of one of her dead kids, and they was passing the bones around between the elephants and just touching them and stuff, and did like some sort of ceremony, and then put them down and carried on to the water source. So it was like showing that there's some level of like grieving for like recognizing that someone had died in the herd, which I found mad. I seen it on I'm sure I've seen it on a Joe Rogan podcast when there was some scientist on there, and he was talking about the mind, how people think, and he got onto the subject of elephants, and he was telling that story. And I don't know, it's quite interesting, isn't it? It's an interesting thought, because you think animals just survive, don't you? You don't think of them in terms of having fun and being happy, but they do experience them on a more what's it called? A more primitive level, don't they?
Yeah, or rather than it being primitive, I guess like they've got the like our neocortex. I'm just gonna fucking make up a number now, but like the thinking part of your brain, you've got the R complex, the reptilian, which is a small one, and you've got the mammalian part, and then you've got the neocortex, which is our thinking and like thought processes and
so like conscious thought.
Yeah, like future and past and all the so like all that type of thought. The orca whale is like fucking gigantic in comparison, isn't it? Oh wait, no, I think I might have got that wrong. I think it might be dolphins. Dolphins have got like way bigger neocortex than us.
The mega intelligent dolphins, aren't they?
Yeah, they get high off pufferfish, don't they?
Do you know how you know a dolphin's intelligent? When do you ever hear a story of dolphins getting caught up in nets? They never get captured, do they? Like when fishing boats are out catching loads of like herds of fish and thousands of these big daft tuna and shit. You never hear of a dolphin them washing up a dolphin in the net, do you?
That's true. And then like you won't hear them getting like caught in nets, and then you never hear like dolphins have like gambling problems, or like you'll never. One of my best friends is a dolphin, and he seems to have it figured out.
Yeah, he's got a really structured life, and just like he's a maths teacher, and like he's just doing all right for himself.
Yeah, grows his own fruit. He's got chickens underwater.
Chickens in the cellar in my hot tub. It's my hot tub cellar / chicken coop. It gives me a nice bath at the end of my tattoo and fresh eggs in the morning. Beat that.
Boom.
It's nicely sectioned off so the chickens don't get wet.
And if they want to paddle, they can.
Yeah, I can sit in the hot tub at night and peruse the chickens. You know how I get. How's the hanging fruit bowl today?
Yeah, she's all right. She's down to 2 fruit. We've got an orange. We've got an apple. Who knows? I might eat the apple this evening.
I was going to say, what would you eat next? What's your next? What's going to be the last man standing in the fruit bowl?
The orange. Yeah, the orange. I'm going to eat the apple next.
I really want to think of that other joke that was in extras, and it's doing me head in.
Oh, dude, the bit I like was with the muffin. So Barry from EastEnders.
Yeah, he's pretty funny in it, isn't he?
Yeah. When he goes, Stephen Merchant goes to Ricky Gervais. Like Ricky's trying to ask if he's got any work, and he's like, "Oh, just a minute." And then he goes, "Do you want some of this muffin?" And he goes, "What? No." And he's like, "Oh. Hang on a minute, I gotta let Barry know." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Barry, I'm having the muffin." And he goes, and Barry's like, "I'll be right in." Like comes back through, and then like he eats it, and Barry walks around, and then he's like this, and then like he like leans over, eats the muffin, and it's just like they both like the muffin has so much attention.
brilliant. I've never watched Extras, but like I said, it was on today when I was tattooing. And I enjoyed it. I want to see more of it, to be fair.
Dude, remember, like I always watch Ricky Gervais as well, and I find it's strange, but I find it's always in the winter. Like in the winter time, I'll always listen to Ricky Gervais around Christmas, almost as if I've got like this weird cycle going on in my head.
Dude, I know we can be like pretty daft and stuff, but do you ever find that you have to grow into certain comedy? Like, I went years ago, some of my friends watch Peep Show and like
I love Peep Show.
watch The Office and stuff. But when I was younger and The Office was on, I didn't find it funny because I didn't get the comedy back then. But now when I watch it, and like my memory of it like is not like it being not being very good. But now when I watch it back, it's hilarious, and you think, why didn't I find that funny ages ago? And it's because of my what I find funny's changed slightly over the years. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I've grew into the comedy, and I find that that is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's strange how there's timeless comedy as well. Like certain comedies can just be timeless.
Yeah.
I think Alan Partridge will be timeless.
Yeah, Alan Partridge.
Have you ever watched that?
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking love that. And Peep Show. Peep Show's like the number one thing that I'll put on as background.
Don't you think this looks good behind me in the way it is in the camera? It's got a dead nice light cast on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's how I used to draw eyeballs with those two white squares. So like in the pupil, I draw like half the pupil and then four white squares, which would be like a window in the reflection of the pupil. And that was my fucking...
That was your special bit of art.
Specialty, yeah.
Dude, did you see the freehand tattoo I've been doing today? Have you looked on my Instagram?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then I tried making a joke about freehand and you explained it.
Yeah, like your hand was free. But I took it dead literally and went, yeah, no, dude, it's just with no stencil. But I was like in any other scenario, I'd just be up for being...
Think about your hand being free and like going on adventures and stuff.
Like that hand off the Addams Family that just gets about.
Yeah. Or oh no, wait, that's not it. I was about to say, remember the face from Art Attack? He was just
mounted on a fucking... Art Attack was fucking mad, wasn't it? I used to buzz off watching him do the big Art Attacks, trying to guess what it was. Like, fucking hell, it's a hockey player. I never would have guessed that. Do you know what I mean? I remember him doing a picture on the floor in a never-ending tub of salt. He was emptying this tub of salt for ages and it never run out. I thought, fuck off. That tiny little tub of salt about that big. And he like pours it over a massive open arena.
6 miles, yeah, 6 miles long.
Yeah.
This covers 14 acres. Yeah, you'd be guessing, wouldn't you? Just be like, a grape, a fucking helicopter. And then it'd just be like the most niche thing in the world. It's just like, no, it's this bit of upholstery from the 1600s being burnt by a witch.
Yeah, it's like I never guessed right. Anyway, you'd be certain of what it was. It'd be like, yeah, it's fucking. It is like, yeah, it's like a fucking football player, and it was just like a boat or something. Do you know what I mean? Like you're convinced you can see the head and stuff, but it's just not.
And then just try to convince like whoever you're watching it with that it still is, and it's blatantly not. It's blatantly like a fucking ship.
Like he's done a really bad job of it. He's made this guy look like a ship.
Yeah, fucking terrible. All right, bro, you want to end it there? We've done way longer than we meant. Well, we did almost 2 hours.
Nice.
I think. Let me have a look.
You've got the... yeah, we'll wrap up there, dude.
Go on then.